Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and I think it's only right that we kick off this video with the elephant in the room, which is, of course, my voice. I personally think it's very homophobic of COVID to happen to me literally after Pride last year, and then also after the Eras tour this year. I avoided it in the height of the pandemic, and yet here we are. So yes, I did get COVID from the Eras tour. It wasn't the memory that I was hoping to have, but it has happened. Today, I of course wanted to continue to bring you the Pride themed Sunday videos, and today's one, we are going to be tier ranking the worlds based on how gay I think the Sims 4 worlds are. Now, I'm fairly sure I talked about this a little bit in my Q&A last year, but I wanted to do a deep dive, a full-length discussion, and obviously you know how much I love tier ranking. Last Pride, I actually did like a tier ranking of townie like sexuality headcanons that I have in my brain, so I'm gonna actually link that video if you want to go check it out, but this is all focused on the worlds. We have your artist's favorite artist, if you get the reference, I see you. Then we have Slay, then we have Valentina, Talk Valentina, aka ally. Then we have straight, and then finally we have homophobic. COVID should just be in here. Starting off with Batu. Now, I feel like most of you would not hesitate. You would slam this bad boy straight into homophobic. However, I think Star Wars is a little bit gay. Like, I don't think there's any like canonically like queer couples. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I love Star Wars, but I'm not that deep into the lore. So there might be canonically queer couples. I do know that Vaimaradi is Arrow Ace, who actually plays a role on Batu, which honestly bumps it up already. I do feel like it is for the gays. I feel like a lot of gays love Star Wars, but is it enough to be put into ally? I personally don't think so. I mean, we have Kylo Ren and we have, oh my god, why am I blanking on her name? Daisy Ridley, who, by the way, in my opinion, personally not straight. But I am gonna put Journey to Batu. Batu as a whole, when it comes to the world, it just feels very straight. Like, there's a lot of order, there's just a lot of like plot that you like have to get through, and in the end, that plot doesn't turn gay. It is an enemies to lovers, but it's an enemies to lovers straight edition. Obviously, we got the first gay couple introduced like specifically in Brindleton Bay. We had Brent and Brent. However, I have to say, even though there's references to like Bay or Bay, Life is Strange people, I see you. Yes, I will absolutely be reacting to the new trailer. If you can count on one thing, it's me loving Life is Strange. But even with the parallels of that, I just feel I'm gonna say you are an ally. Like, you support the gays, like you introduced the first like canonically gay couple to The Sims 4. I'm fairly sure this is Brychester, which straight up gives straight vibes. I do not make the rules. I know some of like university is like about discovering who you are. Trust me, I went through that process. I joined the girls' football team, and let me just tell you, it was an awakening at 18 years old. Now, this isn't just like the world specifically. I'm talking about like the townies that were included. I'm talking about the vibes of the world, like the way that it looks, kind of just the overall energy that they bring to the table, but then also like the pack as well, because obviously that ties into like Create a Sim and the kind of clothing that was involved and the activities and all of that kind of stuff makes up these worlds. And really, like, apart from the Secret Society, which is definitely a little bit camp, and I love that for them, it's giving straight. Del Sol Valley, however, I think is not your artist's favorite artist, but is definitely a little bit of a slay, a little bit of a serve. From the townies that it introduced, like Vanessa Jiang, Octavia Moon, obviously we had the gay icons that were Judith Ward and Brittany Cho. I definitely see those two as like enemies to lovers, even though Judith does run to Marcus Fletch. flex at any single moment in my game. If she is with anyone, it's Don Lothario or Marcus Flex. But also, those two are kind of giving like internalized homophobia. I don't know if that's just me. I just think Del Sol Valley in general is a bit of a slay. Like, even like the sunset in the icon, like it just has gay vibes. And trust me, my gaydar is usually pretty on point. Copperdale, without zero hesitation. I personally think it's the gayest world that we have in The Sims 4. Not only because obviously high school years, and with high school years, we got the introduction of like sexuality officially within the game. There are a lot of gay students in Copperdale High. It's a very inclusive, it's a very like thriving world. I love every single one who is introduced. The clothes are also very gay. I mean, there is a boba and like vintage clothing shop, which in of itself is gay. You can just go for a little dip in the sea if you want to. You can just like run away from your house and go like hang out on some sofas that are just chilling in the world. Everything about this just screams like, I am a teenager. The world doesn't know who I am yet, but I know who I am and I'm gonna live up to it. Therefore, your artist's favorite artist. Ooh, eco lifestyle. This one is tough when it comes to the eco lifestyle world because obviously there were a lot of gay townies. This one, they really said this is for the lesbians. Lesbians love recycling and love looking after the planet. And so we're gonna introduce two lesbian couples and then also just some like gay icons in like Bess and her partner. Do I think it's enough to push it up into slay? Yes. We care about the environment. Me and my emotional support hydro flask, which is also green. Green is a gay color and you can't take that from us. Therefore, going green, eco lifestyle, caring about the environment, yes. I feel as if this is an unpopular opinion because obviously vampires did introduce the bicon that is Caleb Vitor. I do feel as if vampires are just a little bit gay. No matter what type of vampire you are, there's just a little bit of gay sprinkled on in there. Whether you're a glittery like Twilight one or you read Darren Shan as a child. This is a call-out post to me, myself, and I. Do I think it's doing enough to be put into slay? No. Like, although Caleb is a bicon, I'm gonna say Valentina. Did they just switch? Anyway, vampires going into Valentina. Glimmerbrook, no, you're straight. Not homophobic because, again, Realm of Magic, the fact that, like, the magicians, the mages have to live in, like, their own separate world and then, like, you can have your own realm. Like, that feels a little homophobic in my personal opinion, but I don't think, like, the townies that live there, I think that's a little bit just homophobic from the rest of the people. But I also don't think it really has like many gay vibes to it. I'm fairly sure this is Outdoor Retreat. Now this one is tough because, as you know, if you are on gay dating apps, the gays love a long walk, apparently. Everyone loves a hike and like snacking on hikes. The amount of times I have seen people being like, I like to go for long hikes and long walks with the one that I love. And I'm just like, that's vile. No, I'm not going to say yes to that because personally, I hate walking. I like a forest walk and I like a beach walk and that's about it. Do not suggest to me to take me on a hike because it's an instant ick. Honestly, you're going in there. You're like very small. The vibes are just off with Granite Falls. I don't know if I can explain that, but in my mind, it makes sense. Henford on Bagley, get up there. Not quite as gay in my opinion as Copperdale, however, is a very close second. Obviously, running away to the countryside, living off the land. We've all seen the Good Luck Babe edits of Haley from Stardew Valley. We all know that is the women loving women dream, just to move away and buy a plot of land and live off the land. Own your own chickens, own your own llama and your cow, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got it sorted. There's also picnicking, which is very, very like WA WLW, in my opinion. Like, have you not made a little picnic for your significant other whilst you were trying to woo them and be like, ooh, woo, I hope you like this? Just all round, like, canning. Obviously, we got cross-stitching as well. Try and tell me they didn't make this for the lesbians. They knew what they were doing. They were like, we got him. Magnolia Promenade, homophobic. Like, honestly, more homophobic than Granite Falls. Granite Falls maybe would fall into the straight category for me. If I could, they'd be like half and half. Magnolia Promenade, it's literally an awful world. You can't even count it as a world. It was literally made for Get to Work. It's like a 4-lot place. And I know we love a little bit of retail therapy, but no, like everything about this just screams homophobic. Moonwood Mill is, you know what? I think is above a sleigh. I think the townies were very, very gay. It's definitely for the edgy gays, and I just love it. The fashion, everything about this, actually. If you didn't see Rory and be like, that is a gay ass world, I don't know what to tell you. It felt like every single sim that they made for werewolves was made and created specifically for the gay community. The LGBTs keep on winning when it comes to Moonwood Mill. We also love the moon. It would be homophobic of me to not put Moonwood Mill in that top ranking. Now, this one feels like very family driven. It feels like suburban on a mountainside. I know that we did have a gay couple in the promo, but they actually weren't included in the pack, which definitely docks some points, Sims team. I'm just saying. Also, this might be my own personal bias for the fact that I do not like Snowy Escape, just all round as an expansion pack. I think there's so much more they could have done with this. It's like fun to go and visit. It's also like fun to play in, but it's glitchy as hell. A lot of it doesn't work the way that I would want it to. Like, a lot of it just seems very tied, like closed off, and I personally just don't like it as an expansion. I love the representation, I love build and buy mode, but that's not about this. This is about the specific world, and to me, even though I do feel as if snowboarding and skiing are like kind of gay activities, specifically snowboarding, like me as a tomboy growing up, I was obsessed with Johnny Capahala Back on Board. Or was it just Johnny Tsunami that was set on the slopes? I think Johnny Capahala Back on Board was all about dirtboarding. And whilst I love that, this is giving straight vibes. Newcrest, honestly. Now, I get it. I feel like some of you might put this in like slay because it's like, it's a world that's empty and you can define yourself and you can make this whatever you want it to be. But really, it's just like a green extension suburbia. And I personally never use Newcrest, which I know is like blasphemy to every single one of you builders out there, but I don't enjoy building. So honestly, the fact that I have to put in the work, put in the hours is homophobic. I was actually going to put both of the base game worlds in just like straight vibes, but I don't know what it is about Oasis Springs. I don't know whether it's the fact that it's like the desert and we don't really have a lot of like desert worlds, but it just feels a little bit unique. It has charm, uniqueness, charisma, and talent, or whatever. I haven't watched Drag Race in a very long time. However, I'm thinking Valentina, even though it has the land grabs in it. It also has Johnny Zest. Actually, maybe it should be there because you all know the real reason why they kicked Johnny Zest out. But I think even the land grabs could be potentially a little bit fruity. It also has like Don Lothario, Nina, and Dina, which I personally always play Dina Caliente as a bisexual woman. Like, I don't know if that's just me. Actually, I know for a fact that's not just me. This really carried me through when I just had base game. So therefore, I feel like it is an ally to me, and therefore it is an ally to the community. City living, I just think this is going straight up into slay. I don't think it's enough to be bumped up. I will say my let's play of this was like very, very gay, and I love that for me. I also just think like cities inherently are a little like gay. They just kind of preach inclusiveness and diversity. City living really, really did that. Like, I still fall back on the creator sim as city living. I still absolutely love kind of like the bright, like boho, bold industrial elements that this pack introduced, and I personally think it's a serve. I think it has served Simmers well for all of these years. Apartments are great. You can have a bunch of different Sims like living together in like a small area. If that's not for the LGBTQ community, I don't know what is. Most of you might be thinking straight. That is an ally if I ever did see one. Not only just for the icon with it like being a sunset, but it introduced skeletons, which honestly, skinny legends, love them. They are allies, and I will hear nothing of the sort going against that opinion. I just like Salvadorada as a whole, and I just don't see Salvadorada being straight. Strangerville, now, the story, hints of gay for sure. Like, we all bow down to mother is mothering. Yes, I know what you mean, queen, but the actual world itself, I feel like it kind of has the vibes of Oasis Springs, and I really like the world. I also love the little like trailer park area. Honestly, in my opinion, maybe a little slay, which is bizarre because it is like small town America, and think like, no, not a slay. But I just think with the storyline and the way that this world is like set up, and the fact that you need to like get into everyone's business and like figure things out, and honestly, you become so attached to the townies and like their stories that I think it would be an injustice to put it anywhere but in slay. Sulani is also absolutely a slay. One of, I feel, the gayest worlds that we have. I don't think it's on like your artist's favorite artist level, but I do think it is absolutely up there. Honestly, I would probably put it like top tier of slay. Introduced a lot of LGBTQ plus townies, including trans sims. Oh, I honestly feel bad putting Glimmerbrook in straight because we had Morgan Ember, but Morgan technically lives in the magic realm, which really, can you count that as Glimmerbrook? Maybe it would go like here. I have been burnt by magic recently when it comes to the LGBTQ community, and I think that is why I have placed that one so low. But yeah, Sulani, I just think she's perfect. It even has a rainbow on the icon. It also has like a dolphin. That is queer bliss to me. Tartosa, now, they have a booby tree. They did have a gay couple getting married, like actually on their pack front and also in a lot of the promo trailers. However, I will be the one to say it. It just has like straight vibes to me. I don't think it's like straight enough to put in straight. Maybe I'm just jaded by the release of this one. Honestly, I was in emotional turmoil when it came to the release of this pack. It could even make me want to put it in homophobic. Also, it introduced some of the most out there, like the LGBTQIA plus community literally just threw up on this pack because there are so many rainbow variants that I know a lot of gay simmers were like, that feels homophobic. Honestly, it felt like pride washing, but I kind of love it. I kind of love that there's like in your face rainbow stuff because it does feel like kind of that like corporate pride in a sense of, oh, you're gay and you're getting married? Here, have all the rainbows in the world. There are some assets that I really, really love. I in particular love the suit that has just like the little pocket line of like a rainbow. And there are some like slight head nods. I would have liked a more like pastel rainbow kind of tone to a lot of the stuff. I don't know. This one could literally be the only one that is in all 5 categories. Like, I kind of want to put it in homophobic for the joke, for the plot, but I do feel like it could be placed anywhere. Like, this is like pin the tail on the feckin' donkey. Is this Willow Creek? Honestly, yeah, get up there. I know it has the BFF household, who I obviously absolutely adore. They are a throuple in my mind, but honestly, apart from them, it also has Bob and Eliza, which I again feel like both of those sims are part of the LGBTQIA plus community, but there's just something about Willow Creek in itself that screams straight. Like, it's kind of that green, like traditional suburbia. Even the houses give me like that aesthetic, so you are in there. I think Windenburg is an ally. There is no world that screams ally more to me, honestly, than Windenburg. That obviously came with Get Together. Like, I feel as if every single sim that was introduced in that pack would be an ally to the gay community. San Sequoia. Now, just before I recorded this video, I called my partner in to like look over the categories. I was like, babe, do you think these all look good? She liked them. And then we were slightly discussing this video. I do feel as if I got some of my best jokes out whilst I was talking to her, so I do apologize. They feel a little bit rehearsed, but she actually said that she can't believe they did a San Francisco world that didn't feel gay. Like, that felt like a crime. And I kind of have to agree. Even though we got obviously like a non-binary townie in Jay, we also got our first trans woman who like officially is stated like canonically as a trans woman. It just still feels like the world itself isn't that gay. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. I do feel like Whalebert, you know, who's the icon of this pack, let's not get it twisted, honestly drags it up to ally. I feel like this is ally behavior in a world. Like, you can go out, you can have a nice day, you can like ride around the park on your bike, you can build a tree house, you can see the fellow like gays around you and you can support them. But at the end of the day, you did choose to live in suburban bliss. Like, you might have a little splash pad which brings you up a little bit from like the rest of the straight worlds, but the end of the day, you're straight. Chestnut Ridge. Now, this one is honestly hard because this is the yeehaw world. So I feel like a lot of people would think that I would instantly put it straight into the homophobic category, but I don't feel like that's accurate enough for Chestnut Ridge. Again, there were gay townies included in this who are part of the LGBTQ plus community. Does that do enough to bump it up anywhere? I still feel as if horse riding in general feels like a straight activity, and this pack is all about riding horses. It also isn't like the best world in my opinion. Like, it's big and it's open, but there's not really loads of things to do in it, and I just feel like we as the gay community need more activities. Like, we need to just think about a lot of different things all of the time, which is why we have so many crafts and we have so many hobbies. So Chestnut Ridge to me is straight. And then Tomarang, you're the newest recruit here, aren't you? I haven't really thought about you a lot. I do love the design. It's also super, super colorful, gorgeous at night. Can we just like pay some respect to the night market? Even though I wish it were a little bit better in like the things that you could do in this pack, and I know that it was a hot mess on release. I'm also gonna put you into the Valentina category. You feel close to San Sequoia. Like, San Sequoia and Tomarang, I personally feel have the same energy as each other, so they are like the sister allies. If Taylor Swift had a sister album in The Sims 4, I feel like it would be San Sequoia and Tomarang. So there we have it. There is my ranking of how gay the worlds are in The Sims 4. I feel like this is going to be a divisive video. I feel like you lot are really going to disagree or really agree. I feel like this is going to hit the same way Marmite does. So let me know down in the comments. Now, I didn't make this tier ranker, so I'm going to leave a link to it down below. I did obviously change up the categories and I did change the colors of them because I hate the way that they do the colors like by default. I still don't know why they put red at the top and then green at the bottom. It just makes absolutely zero sense to me. Definitely tag me over on Twitter if you do rank them, or just leave your rankings like down below in the comments if you don't want to do like the whole tier ranking thing. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm sorry that you are probably for like the next week gonna have to listen to this voice. I'm hoping it clears quite quickly. I already feel much better than I did like the last couple of days. So thank goodness for that. I appreciate you all so much. Also, if you are going to the Eras tour anytime soon, stay safe and also drink so much water. I cannot tell you how much water I drank over that weekend. Take care of yourselves, take care of others around you. Please do a COVID test before you go, because honestly, this week has been miserable, but at least I've had my Eras tour videos to get me through it. I appreciate you all so much. If you are going out celebrating Pride, stay safe. I hope you have the most wonderful time, no matter how you are celebrating. Just know that I am consistently proud of you all, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.